And they're away. It's a good start for both our erstwhile favourites, Evening and Vesely. Rodevald in third. Posiat's gone to fourth. And Sartell fifth. So Evening wide in the first corner. They sweep into the King Cobra turn for the first time. Certainly Evening's looking a bit looser. And you'd say in this first lap, Vesely's slightly quicker. Ball. Posiat's pushed Rosenveld out of the way, and already Vesely and Evening come together. And these cars are faster, more agile, more aggressive, more feral than the two-wheel drive you saw before, which you were babying around. Vesely gets on the outside, and he almost gets pushed off there. And up the inside, and looking to gain from all this, is Valentin Posiat, who's kind of sitting back and watching Vesely. Vesely gets on the inside and takes the lead. So Vesely, lovely move there, gets on the inside, and look, bullied out there. Even the 14-year-old bullied out by two older drivers, as both Posiat and Vesely get past him. Totally fair, but using all the muscles that he's built up over the years with Posiat. And Even drops to third, but there's a long, long way to go. Fourth, Stu Wood. Fifth, Sven Rodevald. So what can Posiat do? He's been a little bit subdued, if I'm honest, so far. And interestingly, what is happening is Vesely is pulling away slightly at the moment. Now, this is where we're going to test the mental strength of the 14-year-old. He needs to sit back and know it's a long race. In fact, Vesely's doing a fabulous job. Absolutely playing down the metal with the MCD. And he looked confident the whole time. Almost though he thought he might have now... There's a problem at the back of... let's get Evening on at one. The Evening car on. There's something hanging out the back of his car. It's just some fluff. He's just picked up some carpet. That's fine. Evening's car has some carpet at the back of it. Fluff hanging about. He turns around, you see he's just got some fluff at the back. That's not a problem for anybody. Now, Evening is the man on the move. He's going to be the man on the move. Stu Wood's keeping up with all this at the moment as we are just the first 2 minutes on the third lap. In many ways, Vesely, who broke, is just being slight. Oh, Evening's car's looking a little bit evil on the rear end at the moment. I don't think it's that bit of carpet hanging on the back that's causing the problem. So Evening are not really showing that lethal pace he showed in the semi-final, but this is a completely different thing. It's his first experience of a major European final. You know, it's all about the mental strength when you get to a 30-minute main final. And it's no surprise to me at the moment that it's Vesely leading and it's Posiat second. So it's Vesely will be DAR. Oh, a mistake there and through into fourth. So Evening now getting swallowed down to fourth. And Stu Wood takes through the third place. He's got Rodeveld behind him as well. So Evening just needs to kind of, Evening really now needs to give himself a good talking to. Think about what he's doing. He's got the pace. And he moves out there and Rodeveld gets him as well. So he's going backwards at the moment down to fifth. So it's not worked for Evening at the moment so far. Now, whether it's an anti-roll bar issue, I've got someone saying it's rear anti-roll bar. I don't think it is. I'll look at it to go past again. To me, that's just a lump of fluff. Has he got an issue with the car? No, that fluff's gone now. I think he's all right. I think that was just a bit of bad luck off the AstroTurf, but he has lost a bit of distance. And he's now actually dropped to just another place. He's gone down behind the 9 car of Schweitzer. So this is not the 3.5 minutes that Pecco dreamed about over lunch. He's dropped down to 6th, but it isn't the end of the world because now he can start moving back forward again, and he's got plenty of time. He just needs to, get a couple of laps to get his rhythm. I think really, that's what he's had the whole time. He's been out in front, but with Pecco, he's running in 6th. Just tell you that Vesely's away. Posiat second, Stu Wood third, Rodeveld fourth. Schweitzer fifth, Evening 6th. You have to say that the Evening machine doesn't look like it's handling as well as it was in previous parts of this event. So whether he has got a problem and that bit of fluff hanging down was indicative of the problem or had been caused by the problem or was the problem caused by it, i.e. he picked it up by digging down hard into the carpet, who knows. But he is now attempting to get back past Schweitzer, the double European champion from a couple of years ago. And these are the closest 2 cars on the track. Vesely's lead is out to 3 seconds. Evening now has to get past some very experienced people to make up for his poor start, his poor first 3 minutes. And we are nearly 5 minutes down. Now, if you can just find the speed he had in the semi-final, nothing's wrong. But of course, it is a bit drier now. A little bit quicker. We've seen a 40.081 from Vesely. We might actually go sub 40 seconds for the first time in this race. Dario looking incredibly strong. Interesting, Posiat able to stay with him. Evenen, not so much at the moment. But this is the closest battle on the track, the Evenen Schweizer battle, so we're going to stick with this one because everyone else is just turning laps. Stu would be very happy to be in third. And there are 5 minutes and 14 seconds gone. And Schweizer open the door there. Can Evenen take it? He has. He can get the drive down and then brake and turn. So Evenen's is starting his comeback now. The young Finn moves up to 5th. And if he can start now, the thing he's got now, if he can just hold himself in his practice, he has got 3 or 4 seconds of clear track. And that's his chance just to get his head together, to get his rhythm before he comes up on the back of Sven Rodenwald. So let's leave Pecco and let's pick up our leader, Vesely, who's about to go over, underneath us now, about to go over the tabletop. There's Vesely, his car has looked superb in this final so far. Now, the one man who is doing particularly well, and we'll come to him in a few seconds, not immediately, is Posiat, who's not really losing much on Vesely. He's put in some blistering lap times. He's gone sub 41 about 3 times now, Vesely, with the MCD. Oh, Vesely's over. Vesely's over, and that's Posiat. They take Posiat. He's in the lead. So Posiat takes the lead from Vesely. And let's look at that one again quickly while we've got a chance. He comes round. And I can't see where it went wrong. He put the power down. He's running a long wheelbase car and just turned it. Oh dear, oh dear. So Posiat takes the lead. The Frenchman, will he be on for another European Championship now? To all you Pecco watchers, that's good news for him because it's taken 2 seconds off the distance for him in the first. But the first 5 cars now are rotating quite in a similar fashion. But we are now 7 minutes down. And Valentin Posiat is winning and the French flag being waved by Mrs. Sartell. Jerome himself is down, I think, in about 8th at the moment. Yep, just behind Van der Elst and Schwarzer. But it's Valentin Posiat who's taken the lead. Now, you would say that on what we've seen so far, and we can see it already, Vesely saying, no, you're not going to stay in the lead for long. I'm going to try and catch up. And a mistake there on the brick section. And Posiat now has Vesely on his tail. The large Croatian against the younger, not the Croatian's old, but against the younger Frenchman. Both European champions. Vesely now, effectively, who's probably absolutely kicking himself for that error a couple of minutes ago, now stalking Posiat. But again, you need to make it a clean pass, and this is not an easy thing to pass on. Posiat is a cracking driver if he can keep his head together, and perhaps not being the fastest and not being the favourite, we seemed to weigh really heavily on him last year. In fact, he's starting number 4, and he's brilliant driving there by Vesely. Just switched to the outside using a bit of extra drive. He's got a superb pickup on that car. Both these are the same chassis. Probably say, oh, and he's got, then through he goes. So through goes Vesely. Got a kind of an open door invitation from Posiat. He went out on 2 wheels. And the Frenchman's going to try and fight back now as he goes to the top corner. But Vesely with that basic ground speed. Posiat looking to go left, looking to go right. And then coming now over the double. They're far up, and already Vesely's gained himself a few inches of daylight. 3rd place, Stu Wood. 4th place, Rodewald. 5th place, Pecco Ivonen. And we are 8 minutes down. Now, interestingly, what has to happen and what I think Posiat needs to do is just not let the lead get too big. As Rodenwald is battling, and Rodenwald's just taken 3rd from Stu Wood behind us. And a mistake there by Posiat. He needs to stay within 1 error, as he was, of our leader Vesely. As Rodenwald now gets the hurry up. And so, and he's done it again because there he goes, Vesely. Okay, stick with Vesely. There's another mistake. It's taken him back down to 2nd again. He's got Rodenwald behind him. He just got himself in the lead again. Now he's got to do it all over again. So Posiat leads. Vesely in the picture. He is in 2nd place. Rodenwald in the multicoloured car is 3rd. 4th place, Stu Wood. Even in 5th, not out of the picture yet. Even did 41.1, faster than anyone last time. Now, even on this quiet period on his own now, he's finally finding the form for the semi-finals. It's a bit late, but we are only not even 1/3 of the way down yet. Vesely, who's now, as you can see, quicker than Rodenwald, trying to gap him. Wood himself is thinking about having a go at Rodenwald, but Vesely is now trying to get himself back up to Posiat. And the gap that time round was just 2.6 seconds, but he gained 0.8 back. So Vesely again, with this basic ground speed advantage he has, as Persiat makes a minor mistake on the ball, 2 wheels up and kind of a praise to the moon. The fact is that we have 19 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Vesely, if he doesn't make another mistake, will be on Persiat at some point. Not that long now, but he's kind of dragging, half leaving Rodenveld behind him. Rodenveld has got Stu Wood doing a very good job of just staying with him. And then you have Pekka Ivonen, the pole man, in 5th, and now I think with his head back where he wants it. Rodenveld gets a bit of breathing space from Stu Wood behind. Oh, and again, I really wouldn't like to take £10 that Valentin Persiat could run that brick section the same twice in a row. Let's nip back to Ivonen, the green car, for a second, who's on the main straight, on the back straight now. I'll keep an eye on the first and second. Ivonen, as you can see, is much closer to Wood, and Wood is much closer to Rodenveld. So the podium certainly is within sight. You got replay? Oh, is that upside down? So let's get with Ivonen, the green car. He's got himself back in. He is much closer now to Stu Wood. Looking ahead, the gap. Persiat's doing a good job of keeping the gap from Vesely, but there's traffic coming. And that might be Persiat's problem, actually. He's got around the first car, which is Hiltunen. Ivonen looking to try and gain 4th place from Stu Wood. Not quite, only 12 minutes down, 18 to go, and certainly Ivonen looks quicker than Wood at the moment. Wood's last lap, 42.0 and a 40.17, so a few tenths gained by Ivonen now, and a few more tenths already gained. So Ivonen now looking very heavily like he wants to pick up 4th place, please, and get himself closer at least to a podium, and he's now right on Stu Wood's tail. Let's take 2 bites there at the cherry into the Samba S's. And again, ran across the ropes in his attempt to get through. Persiat holding the lead nicely against oh, and a mistake, and that's really not what you want when you're gaining fast. So that's going to slow him right down. I'm sure he'll come back onto it. Still plenty of time, but the time is beginning to tick away. We still have 17 minutes. We're not halfway yet. Let's move to our leaders. They're getting very close. Into the Samba S. It's the 5 car, and then Vesely behind him. As a slight error again on those bricks, and Persiat now has Vesely all over him once more. They do have some lapping to do. I think there's Dirk Kellerman ahead of them in the purple and yellow car. Still not halfway through this one, and Persiat has led a lot more of it than I thought he would. And I'm sure a lot more than Dario Vesely wanted him to, and a lot more than I'm certain that Pekka Ivonen ever thought would happen. So from 4, Valentin leads. He spins round, but much better on the brick section that time. So Vesely, the Croatian, in the blue and the orange car, is chasing the much more orange machine of Persiat. Persiat, whose kind of colours change every year. Vesely has that very recognisable orange base and blue roof to his cars, be they large-scale touring car, large-scale off-road, or even anything else. A bit of yellow in there as well. As he comes round, Vesely now right on the tail. That car behind him is not involved. So first and second are right together as we have just came out to half-time. Persiat and Vesely, the 2 people who, before you arrived here, you'd said would be battling for the lead of the 4-wheel drive main final here in Nen Valley, until we saw Ivonen's qualifying performances, which kind of threw a cat amongst the pigeons. But that cat has been thrown back out of the pigeons because it's the old hands who are picking up those top 2 positions. And it's a bit of a masterclass from Persiat at the moment of driving within himself and keeping the slightly quicker on individual lap time of Vesely. But we've seen this before, and obviously this is a track which they can run more consistently. Last year's track, you were just hoping for the best to get round the craters. This year's track, you can race it, and that's plain to Persiat. He's not so happy when things go completely random. And in the background, Ivanen has got past Stewart. Stewart made mistakes. Ivanen's up to 4th. But the 1st and 2nd is obviously where we're concentrating. Rodenveld still in 3rd place. And they come now down to the Graffel hairpin. Another lap ticked off, and we are now over halfway. 15.5 down, 14.5 to go. And I saw really that Vesely had to wait then for Persiat to finish the King Cobra corner, because you can't get 2 cars. Oh, and he's tipped him. But no, that was pretty much that was a racing incident. Unlike some of the other things which were interpreted as racing incidents, that was a racing incident. And they carry on going, and Persiat very much looking to garner another European championship. Rodeveld not out of this because he's just carried on ticking along, and these two are not going as fast as they could now. They're slowing each other up. In fairness, Ivanen's not out of it, because the distance from 1st to 4th, 37 seconds. So, you know, it's not like he's out of it. He's made it difficult for himself as Persiat goes very wide after getting a very good drive on that first corner. This time again, a little bit of skidding out the back. You'd think that AstroTurf car would give great grip. It doesn't. It gives good grip, but the grip's different. It's too, go on! Persiat makes a mistake and waits. So Persiat makes a mistake and waits, and that is given the lead to Vesely, who I assume will now run. I think the Duke Racing replay, see what happened. He got a snap oversteer, rears it wrong and waits. Great driving by the Frenchman, very fair, but now he's got a problem. Then Vesely's ahead of him. Now, interesting, whilst Vesely was chasing, at no point did he make a mirror or fall over. Both the times he's been in the lead, he has done that. So Vesely leads now with 13 minutes to go. 2nd place is Persiat on your screen. 3rd place is Rodenveld. 4th place is Ivanen. 5th place is Stu Wood. 6th place, I think, still is Patrick Schweinzer, but he's been dropped by miles now. And already, Vesely is making his escape. So much so that Rodenveld is beginning to get himself a little bit closer to Persiat. Ivanen making no real impression on Rodenveld at the moment, so he's mired in 4th. Stu Wood stays 5th. In fact, Persiat decided not to be left, and he's actually now pushing very hard to be actually on the same part of the track. And he is now. So Persiat, far from being left, is absolutely competing inch for inch with Vesely, and he's going to try and do something special. He does like to get cut up the inside on the brick section, but no. This is where it went wrong 3 laps ago. Snap oversteer, had to wait, and he did. And now suddenly, Persiat's got a bit of a spring in his step and a flea in his ear. He just makes a tiny error there. Leaps well. I think he'll be fine to get the drive, and he'll be able to squeeze right back up again as he does a superb run round. Both of them really, really good round that top corner. Lots of speed and holding it straight. And now Persiat trying the outside line. And he had to brake rather than ram his teammate in the backside there. Both the MCDs then. It's the number 2 car of Dario Vesely from Croatia leading the orange and white machine, the 4 of Valentin Persiat. Sven Rodeveld stays in 3rd. Pekka Ivanen stays in 4th. And the gap between 1st and 4th is down to 6.6 seconds. So they are getting close. And Rodeveld certainly himself, if these two were to come together, Rodeveld could very easily find himself in the both. They have come together. But if they were going to come together, they have come together. Rodeveld is the one who can really gain on that one. Let's see it very quickly. Let's see it again. Coming in through the F returns. Duke Racing replay. Yeah, that was again no harm, no foul. Basically, they were on different lines at different speeds, but the net effect was they both lost 2 seconds. And Rodeveld, as you can see, will be sneaking into the back of these shots now. If we stick on Persiat more than you'll see that behind him, he's got a problem that Rodeveld is there as well, the short course challenge champion. And a couple of seconds behind that is Pekka Ivanen, who just needs to find that pace he had in the semi-finals, and he'll very quickly get up to the top 3. Though I do think certainly Persiat, in a way Vesely, have really shown their experience and their class. They found a couple of extra tenths here or there on the laps. And certainly Persiat, who was looking to be left by Vesely earlier in this race, himself is finding a couple of tenths within the race as the racer comes out and the experience comes out and the pushing comes out in the French man. So Vesely and Persiat on the same frame now. They go into the Samba S's. They both had a go in the lead. Currently the man having that go is Vesely. And he's just got a little bit of a breathing space, a few yards, a few metres of a lead. But the second half of the section is where Perziat he turns that right hand into this bit of straight so well. And lost the drive there. Oh, that was very sporting, because in fact, Vesely had made the mistake. He made the error, lost the drive. And Perziat, I'm not going to force the issue here because there's still 9 minutes and 39 seconds to go, which is quite a brave thing to do because Rodeveld's right behind them. And they're not braking from Rodeveld because they're slowing each other up. And we've lost Hiltonen, the 10 car. Evening carries in 4th, so at the moment not even making the podium, which is disappointing for the young lad. And Perziat again knows he's fast here. The section where he's very quick is after this corner here. He just turns they turn left there. And that was the first time that actually it's been done particularly well. Van der Elst in the way of the leaders to get out of the way very quickly. But that was the first time we'd seen Vesely turn that corner particularly well. And the net result was the gain that has been happening previous laps didn't happen for Perziat. And in fact, Vesely finally has a small amount of clear air between him. And in the case of a couple of laps, or even a lap and a half, Vesely now looking a little bit more comfortable. And the person who's under challenge actually is going to be Valentin Perziat, and that's from Sven Rodeveld, the German. So let's be on Perziat in second. He's just behind Vesely. He's coming around the corner now, and he's going to be on the main straight now, the orange car of Perziat. With Rodeveld behind him. Right underneath us now, on the tabletop now. And upside down now, and another right way up again, and Rodeveld gets through to second. So Rodeveld takes second. Let's see that one again, the Duke Racing replay. Oh, it's such a combination, not getting the thing working properly for Perziat, and he then lands it and drops it, and Rodeveld says, thank you very much, I'll have that little second place. And the net winner of that one, massively, was Dario Vesely, but Rodeveld now has second, and we have 7.5 minutes to go. Perziat now first needs to find his way around Rodeveld. Evening is happily in 4th. Well, not very happy, I doubt. Wood has just had an accident in 5th. But he's still in 5th. And Evening's had another problem. So I think Evening's chance of anything has disappeared. The car just not doing what he wants to do in this final. Vesely has just lapped Jerome Sartell, but it's now a battle for second here between Sven Rodeveld and Valentin Perziat. Out in the lead, Dario Vesely looking for back-to-back European Championships with 7 minutes to go. And Rodeveld now, who had the quietest of races, just sneaking up on the back of the leading two. Well, he got his chance when Perziat made an error after a kind of a massive tank slap where he can't get the thing pointing in the right direction moment. Now you get on the inside. Look at the inside. It's Perziat to pick up second place from Rodeveld. He needs to get the drive off the corner. Now he's very good round here, and he's got it. Oh, Rodeveld has a... Oh, he's lucky there. He skylined it and then came back again. Very quick to see that one again. They came off that main straight. He just got a bounce with the Duke Racing replay and then spins around. But he gets back on the wheels, which is good news for him, bad news for Ethan. But Ethan's dropped way back now. Ethan's right off this, and really, 4th is the best he's going to do unless it's a problem on the top 3. But the problem that these two have, they're still battling. Rodeveld almost comes in on the brick section into the second place man, Perziat. The problem they both have is that their scrapping has allowed Dario Vesely to break away and establish a 5-second lead. But there's still a battle for the two lower steps of the podium, and oh, it's going to happen now because they've rolled over. And Rodeveld picks it back up again. Perziat. Those little errors have crept in the back end of this race in the last few minutes. Got 5.5 minutes to go. They switch back and through around the Sambaresses for, they've got 7 or 8 laps to go. Rodeveld takes second in the multicoloured car, then the orangey car with the white wheels is Valentin Perziat. Away by 5 seconds or so, perhaps 6 seconds now, is Dario Vasselli. And oh, that was an absolute grenading attack there. Let's watch that one again on the Duke Racing replay. Not quite sure what he's trying to do there. Comes under. Absolutely fires it, Perziat. He's going to go over the top of... Oh, that's what happened. He actually fight over and landed on the roof of Rodevald, and that kind of spoiled it all for him. But they're back together again. Again, the gain of that one is Perziat is desperate to move a step up on the podium. Now, remember, we saw a number of cars run out of fuel on the two-wheel drive. I had problems in the last couple of sections. Then that could still happen here with 4 minutes to go. As it stands, Vasselli's looking good for back-to-back European Championships. But the battle here is very much on for second place between Rodevald and Perziat. And one of them trips up. Pekka Ivonen is ready to try and pick up a podium position. I'm sure that if it stays as it is, Pekka is going to be a very disappointed young man at the end of this race, but he should actually be very proud of what he's achieved, and perhaps in a couple of weeks' time he will be a very proud young man, because he has taken the large-scale off-road world by storm this weekend, and will be a force to be reckoned with for probably another 30 years. But you know, TQ European Championships, which effectively is the world's, because we had an Australian here, is something never to be poo-pooed, and interesting, something to be poo-pooed is the fact that Perziat's had a little bit of problem staying on two wheels. He's going to come up hard and will catch up very quickly with Rodevald. Perziat's got a lot of speed in that car, more than Rodevald, who really can't run the pace quite that either Perziat nor Dario Vasselli can run. But the problem with this track, well, the problem is, one good thing with this track is it's not easy to pass. Can get past, and obviously the nature of the track itself will lead to passing opportunities. But a driver driving well on the line can hold someone back. And that's obviously completely legitimate if you are fighting for position in the main final. Vasselli now a long way ahead with 3 minutes to go. His last time round he was 6.5 seconds ahead, and he'll be a bit further this time, I think, as they both of them come up to lap Jerome Sartell in the pink and white Losi car. A lot of MCDs here, the Turkish brand. They've got their four-wheel drive car working very, very nicely indeed on the AstroTurf, and an interesting interpretation there by Valentin's, giving him a pretty good move forward. So Perziat still looking to get second place from Sven Rodevald. First place is long, long gone. We're down to 2 minutes and 12 seconds. I can tell you that there's no problem for Vasselli. Very much in a fourth place is Pekka Ivonen, and very much in a fifth place is Stu Wood. Patrick Schweinzer is sixth. And power goes down a bit of slight. Oh, and Rodevald there gave a little half chance for Valentin Perziat to get one step higher on the podium. But Rodevald, the reigning short course champion till obviously about 3 hours ago, still pushing hard from the inside. Oh, and he has a white round. They're so close here. This is an example of how it's hard to pass. And this is where Perziat thinks he's got a chance. And again, he ran it in a bit long there, hoping he could get back and turn in. But that's beyond the laws of physics. As we come down to 1 minute and 25. They will get this lap. There's 2 laps left, I think, but it might just actually get 3. Certainly. Dario. Oh, and Pecco stopped. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Pecco has stalled, and I think Pecco is out of the final. I'm very, very sorry for Tara, but Pecco has gone from the final. Perhaps just as well he wasn't leading at that point. That would have been too cruel, too much to take. Right, let's get back to our second and third battle, which is currently... Oh, Vasselli just rolled over. Our second and third battle is now just going down the bumps into the hairpin. Vasselli rolled over that time and had a lap of 44. We're down to 45 seconds, so there are 2 laps to go, and in fact we've lost Valentin Perziat. Perziat, where's he gone? We've lost Perziat. So leading is Vasselli. Perziat's gone. We've got a few seconds to go. Now let's pick up our leader. He's coming out onto the main straight now, back straight now. So Perziat has gone. We've lost 3 cars. Perziat's out. Ivonen's gone. Leading now is Vasselli. In second it is Rodevald. And in third, I think it's going to be Stu Wood when they get through the next lap. And this is the last lap. Vasselli's got one more lap. Rodevald's got one more lap. Once again, there's been some fuel miscalculation somewhere. Vaselli carries on going round. He is leading, but in the background you can see the multicoloured car that is Sven Rodevald catching him hand over fist on the last lap. Rodevald is Rodevald going to do a remarkable thing. What has happened to Vaselli? Is he just going slow because he thinks he might run out of fuel? Rodevald now is coming closer and closer and closer. They're going down the back straight. What can Vaselli do? He's got about a second in hand. He's come around the top side. Rodevald could pick up. Oh, he made a mistake, Rodevald. But Vaselli now turns around. He's got 2 corners to go. As long as he's got enough fuel, he will finish. He will take the championship. He's come incredibly close to the end. Rodevald almost always rolled at the last game. Vaselli takes it. Rodevald will be second. In third place, I do believe it's Britain. Stu Wood takes the final podium position. Fourth place, Schweitzer. Valentin Persiak gets fifth without finishing. Sartell is sixth. Van der Elst is seventh. Kellerman is eighth. Ivan ends up ninth, again with fuel issues. And 10th is Juno Haltonen. Bloomin' heck. All happening there. The margin of victory in the end was 2 seconds. It would be 1 if Rodevald hadn't rolled in the last corner. And Vaselli wins it, going as